Hello, welcome back. I'm just going to do another quick tips for you today. And today we're going to talk about the blood pressure cuff. Some important things to know about the blood pressure cuff. First is this is the bulb. This is the air release valve here. Okay. And then they have the connection tubing, which connects here. Now in my other video, and this is called an aneroid manometer. And it's like sphygmomanometer, but it's the aneroid manometer. Okay. And that is what is measuring that pressure for you. This can come off, and very often I teach my students to place it the best that they are most comfortable with. But once you get used to it, you can just make sure it's nice and tight on there, and then you can read it while you're go ahead and do the blood pressure. Important every time you learn a new skill is to do discovery. And what discovery is to touch it, feel it, hold it, look and know the parts of it. In my other video, I talked about holding whichever hand you're going to be pumping up and releasing. Hold the bulb in that hand and practice. See, it's pumping up, and then practice releasing. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So lefty is release, right is tight. And the more you do this and practice just this, I used to walk around the house with it. I'd sit down when I was watching TV, pump it up, loosen, good. And then to really loosen it, if you're getting all the air out, you want to push the air out. But that's where I would start, first of all. It's just getting used to this bulb in the hand that you're going to pump, and more importantly, the valve, because you want it to be a slow and steady, right? Nice and steady. You don't want to open it all the way up. You'll get an inaccurate. You won't even hear it if it goes too fast. So start with that. Pump up, release, take the air out. You don't have to let the air out every time. You can just pump up, release, tighten, pump up, release, tighten. Okay, and this is just what I call discovery, so that your hands and your brain are getting used to it. So that's one thing that's really important to start discovering and practicing. The other part is to look at the cuff, because as I said in the previous video on taking accurate blood pressure, on the inside, they usually have the index range. Okay, so here's the index, and this is the range. That index right here, there's an arrow, fits between here and all the way to here. If it's outside of that range, so if you're doing it way over here or inside here, then the cuff is not proper for your patient. And if it was this, you'd need to get a child cuff. If it was this, this is an adult size, you need to get an extra large adult size. But it's important to know that the index lines up as you wrap it around the arm and fits within this range. That helps you to know that you have the proper cuff size. So when you're working on discovery, look at that, put it on people's arms, wrap it around, see where the index fits the range, and make sure that it's the right cuff size. Okay, so that's the second thing in your discovery that I want you to look at. The third thing is almost all of them now have an artery placement. Okay, and that should be, like we said, when we palpate the brachial artery, right? We're palpating the brachial artery. What's this called again? Good, the antecubital fossa. So you have the antecubital fossa, you're palpating the brachial artery. This artery placement, when you place it on, is the arrow's going to be right in that brachial artery area. So that's another thing to practice and discover, is making sure you understand that the cuff is placed on there correctly as well. So those are landmarks that I want you to look for. Also remember that these tubes should not touch or cross or touch the stethoscope, because you will get artifact. So that's really important when you're placing, that you make sure that the tubes are not touching or crossing, and that the stethoscope is not doing that as well. So I hope that this was a good quick tips for you to start your discovery on. Once you played with it and had it in your hands, then you're ready to rock and roll with working on accurate blood pressures. Let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe below. And if you have any comments, please add them. I hope you have a great day. Have so much fun learning, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.